Did you know there's a reason why people say everyone's multiple sclerosis is a bit different? Of course, there are commonalities, but if you sit down and talk to everyone and speak about their experience living with multiple sclerosis, you're going to find differences. I was just in a support group talking about how I always have sort of an internal bobblehead vibration in my head, and someone was like, if I had that, I would be at the hospital with Solumedrol hooked up to an IV in a horrible relapse. And I was like, well, it's sort of an everyday experience for me. That's why I was asking about it, is just to see if anyone else is living with that and how they deal with it, because it makes you really dizzy and it makes functioning at all very difficult. So you will meet people that have really aggressive multiple sclerosis. Maybe it's completely taken away their ability to walk. It could blind you with optic neuritis. It could completely disable your bowel and bladder functionality. The list goes on. And for some people, they barely have any symptoms at all, and maybe they're not even medicated, which I don't recommend. So it can be a very confusing existence living with MS and comparing it to others, because maybe they have something you have or they don't have something you have. It's hard to not get a little bitter about that when you have really, really, really bad symptoms 24/7. I do very often speak to other people with multiple sclerosis who are like, oh, I don't even know I have it. So I just keep living my life. And I'm like, it has completely disabled me and stolen my life, and some of us don't have the luxury of behaving like everything's fine and normal and not even telling people about it because our symptoms are so subtle. I think what I'm trying to say is that the aggressiveness of one's MS is very different person to person, and there is a whole spectrum out there, and once again, it has nothing to do with what you look like. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's masking and looking and acting like everything is fine, but my symptoms are 24/7. They affect almost every system in my body. Also, because I don't just have multiple sclerosis, I have Ehlers-Danlos and POTS. So it's a whole other lifestyle to be a triple card holder. So while I tell you to not compare your multiple sclerosis to someone else who's got it really subtle and they barely know that it's there, I know how difficult that is, and I could never tell you to stop doing that, because how could you not?